Good morning, everybody. It looks like it's 11 a.m., so I appreciate everybody taking their time to join our webinar this morning. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Paul Jung. I'm a territory manager here at Omen Systems. And to get started, if everyone's not familiar with GoToMeeting or webinar here, we are going to be fielding questions throughout the demo and webinar. So if you guys have any questions you guys would like to submit, feel free to submit that, and then we are going to have a Q&A session at the end of the demo that we'll take care of. And before I turn it over to Will to walk us through FMP Mobile and FMP Office, looks like some of the participants and attendees we have are newer and might not be familiar with us at Omen Systems. So just as an intro, I'd like to explain who we are here and where we come from. So for those that aren't familiar with us, we've actually been in the road construction industry for over 135 years and through 5 generations. It all started in 1881 with John Omen, the namesake of our now founder and CEO. He was awarded a bridge contract for the Nashville, Chattanooga, and St. Louis Bridge, and which ultimately created Omen Construction Company. And then over the next few decades, Omen Construction led and partnered on a number of large projects and highway interstate system upgrades. And some notable projects include the Panama Canal, or the expansion of the Panama Canal after World War II, the Trans-Alaskan Pipeline, and as well as the Alcan Highway, which was a military supply route that was crucial for getting supplies to the Allied soldiers in World War II. So it's with that background and heritage that Omen Systems was founded in 1992 by our current CEO and owner, John Omen. John figured out a way to utilize his plenty of years in knowledge in the construction industry to combine it with the technology that was newer at that time to make his life easier. So he saw that he can get rid of a lot of the repetitive and tedious aspects of his job that really took away from what he loved doing. So it's with that background that enables to understand the importance of having the right tools to perform the job, as well as making those tools easy to use and implement throughout the organization. So with those principles, John developed FMP to help companies better track their data and manage it in the field, ultimately leading to better managed projects and better productivity from your crews out there. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Will Peppers here, and he's going to walk us through FMP Mobile and FMP Office.
All right. Hope everybody's doing well today. Paul, I appreciate the intro there and given the history of Omen Systems. So as Paul mentioned, what we're going to be doing today is going through FMP Mobile and FMP Office, and just kind of give you guys, I guess, just kind of painting a picture of what we're going to be looking at. Is the first thing we'll be going through is the FMP Mobile side. So that's going to be the part that your foreman out in the field or project managers will be entering in their data, stuff like their production, time cards, forms, and documents. And then we'll go over once we transmit that information, and then we'll go to the office side, which is where your people in the office, so owners, once again, project managers, anybody who's going to be looking or gathering this information, it will be able to see that, and we'll take a look at the information that we transmitted and just did, and then show exactly what that looks like, the kind of reports that you can run, and different aspects and features of the program to show you how this is going to make your process more efficient and a lot more easy. So we'll go ahead and get started. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cast my actual phone. This is it right here. I'm going to cast this screen up on the screen here for everybody, so that way we can see it and go through FMP Mobile. So I'll go ahead and cast that, and it should take just a second here on my side. All right. And I will go ahead and pull it up, and here we go. So let me go ahead and make this full screen view. All right, there we go. So this is the screen that your foremen are going to see. So whenever they start off their day, they'll go ahead and open up the FMP mobile app. Where they're going to start is hitting this data entry button. So we'll go ahead and click in there. So this is what it'll pull up. So starting off, the way that we're going to do this is you'll see we'll just start from the top and literally work our way down. This has made it an extremely simple, easy to use program. We have over 3,000 foremen across the country using this. And that's our biggest feedback, is that not only does this gather the pertinent information they need, but it's super simple. So starting up here at the top, we'll hit this drop down. And this is going to be a full list of all of your projects that you're currently working on. So if you had this full list, you could scroll through here. You can also search and filter. Say maybe, if we had a full list here, we just type in Sidco and PAL, and we can click that. So they'll select that project, and we'll show that's actually set up in FMP Office. When you win a project, you set it up. That'll be the full list of everything that you've set up there. So now that we've selected it, we'll go ahead and select the date. So the next drop down. Now, a few things I like to point out. You'll notice as we go through the demo, there's a common stoplight mentality theme that we stick with. We wanted to make this a foolproof system. That way, you guys always know, have I transmitted my data? Have I entered in anything? And what this is signifying, you'll notice the green and the red. If I click on a green number, or a green date here, rather, that's going to show me every single thing that I've entered in and that has been transmitted. Now, if I click on a red date, that's going to show, hey, I've entered in just quantities here, but it has not been transmitted to the office. So like I said, this is a foolproof system to make sure they know they've entered in their information and it's been transmitted. And if it hasn't, they can always go back there and send that into the office. So we'll go ahead and just select today. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So this is where we'll enter in all the data that we're gathering from the field. So the first one is our diary. So if I click into that, you'll notice it's going to pull up the weather. It's the first tab up here at the top. Once again, we're making it super simple and easy for you guys out in the field. All they'll have to do is click this Get Weather Info. They can choose a project location, where they're located, or just their current location. So I'll hit current location, and it'll take just a few seconds. So literally one click brings in all my weather for the day. So this is all going to be documented. So I've got my low of 34, high of 45. Looks like it's partly cloudy today, but we're not having any rain, so it should be good to work. So I'll go ahead, and you can, on this next part, either click the tab at the top, or you can swipe it like a page as you see. In this next section is one of our most used and most powerful parts of the program. Like I said, we have about 3,000 foremen across the country using this program, and we're having roughly 55,000 pictures submitted per month. So it's something, like I said, people are really utilizing and getting a lot out of. So for this one, first of all, you can load from your gallery if you took a picture earlier, or you can just simply hit Take Picture, which we'll do. So in this example, I'll go ahead and take a picture of our big piece of equipment here. We got our excavator, and we'll hit Use Photo. Also on this, you'll be able to list a description. So instead of maybe your guys taking pictures out in the field and then shooting you a text over, it's all going to be in the system here. So instead of them having to now type in, maybe getting frustrated with it, their fingers are dirty, all you have to do is hit the Siri button in the bottom, and I can talk right into my phone and have my annotated note, period. All right, and just like that, I can type in the note. Now, something I do like to add on this is, let's see, whoop. If I go back to our image, if I do a long press hold on it, this is a really cool feature we've seen people really take advantage of. You can not only take the picture, but you can actually draw on this. So all they'll do is just click this up at the top, select the color they want to use. Let's use blue. That'll kind of stand out well. We'll make the line a little bit thicker here. And then maybe there's a broken piece on the equipment. So we'll go ahead and circle that. Maybe that's what they want to point out. So they can draw on this, they can write a note, circle it, whatever, make sure that it's super, super clear what they're wanting to send in. And then all they do is just hit save. And then we'll hit close. And then we've got that there. So the next parts, I like to note that these are all customizable tabs up at the top. So you see work, got delays. That's extremely important to notate that. Maybe if we just type in there, or I'm sorry, just hit new entry, or we can load a previous note. Let's type in new entry. We'll say dozer was broken, delayed work 2 hours. We've got our delay there. So now you've got the note. Why are we behind? What kind of delays did we see? And just hit save. Not to go through and do the rest of them, but like I said, we got instructions, visitors, just generalized notes. But these are all, like I said, customizable to whatever you all want to see, whatever you currently record. We can type that into FMP Office and then make those tab names change at the top. And that way you can get the reporting that you're looking for. So now that we're done with this, we'll hit the back arrow and you'll notice that this turned yellow. So this is just letting us know we've now entered in information for it, which is awesome. So now we can now go to the time card. So we'll click into that. And this is going to be probably the most heavily used area of the program, which is the time cards for equipment and employees. So it's once again really easy process on this. So to add employees, first of all, we can copy from a previous week. So if you have a team that's on the same project for a week or an extended period of time, they're working on the same stuff, the same hours, you can choose a date just by clicking this drop down and just select whatever date you want to copy over, click it, and then you can copy that over. Now I'll hit cancel so we can show our example here. But that's another way that you can just expedite this process for your foreman, create fewer clicks, make it a lot quicker, so that way they can actually get to the work they're out there to perform. So in this case, I'll just show you how to add or remove employees. We'll just click this button in the bottom right corner. And let's say we'll add Alan Jackson. We want to add Brad Paisley. We'll do Brantley Gilbert, sticking with the Nashville theme. So we'll hit that back arrow to bring them in, and you'll notice they pop up. So you'll notice we have a few hours already listed here. So that's for the week so far, because we've entered in data for a few previous dates. So it's showing me that. Now I just got to click into Alan here. And as you'll notice, it already has a work class assigned to them. So you can set up in FMP Office work classes that are automatically assigned to an employee. So that way, that's one less click that the foreman has to do when entering time. Now, we do get occasionally some companies that say, you know, maybe they have a couple work classes in that single day. That's no problem. Just hit work classes and they can click on another one there. Maybe they're a foreman too, and they can just bring that right over. And I'll leave it unchecked for this example. So now all we have to do is just add a cost code. So we'll click on cost code. And let's say we're doing some 18-inch concrete pipe. So I'll just click this up here. We'll just simply type in 18, and there we go. So this is on the database we'll show in FMP Office. It's going to be your full list of cost codes on this project, and they'll be able to select what they're working on and what the back arrow to bring it in. So now we have our cost code. So we'll go in here, click the blue field to enter the time, and let's say we worked on it for 8 hours today. And I'll hit done. So the next part, and actually I'll show this real quick. So we have a start and stop time as well if you all prefer that. We can do that, but you can enter your hours in plain, you know, just a flat hour here. And then also, I know sometimes there's discrepancies. Guys are coming back saying my paycheck's low, I got shorted some hours. This is where you'll be able to type in your note section if I click into that and just say left early for the doctor, 2 hours, period. So you'll be able to notate why were they maybe short a couple hours. So that way you have that documentation. And I'll hit save. So this next part, this is what I was getting at, is this is where it's going to expedite the process for your foreman and make it a lot easier so they don't have to recreate the wheel and then go to, you know, Brad Paisley, type in his time, and also Brantley Gilbert, type in the time as well. So if I go back to Alan, what you're going to end up using is this copy time feature in the bottom right corner. So if I hit that, you'll notice it's already checked it. I can uncheck that box, but that's what I want to copy over, that everybody on my crew worked 8 hours on that 18-inch concrete pipe. So I'll hit copy, and you'll notice it'll take just a few seconds, or actually it looks like 1 second there. And then I'll click through, and you'll notice Brad Paisley has 8 hours, and Brantley Gilbert has 8 hours. So really, once again, an easy way, make this an expedited process. Don't recreate the wheel. Just make it as super easy as possible on your foreman. But that way, that's gone ahead, added in the hours for all of your crew members. So we'll hit the back arrow. And now, as you see that note that we put in there, we've got the hours listed, got there for the week. Also have any kind of notes that we need for the employees. So we'll go over to the equipment. So once we look at the equipment, it's really the same process. You can copy previous if it's the same thing you've been working on maybe for the week or the month, or you can just add and remove equipment. So we'll click that. Let's say we need to add our dozer. So let's type in dozer there. We'll use this this one for our demo, the D8 dozer for the demo, and hit the back arrow. So once that's brought in, you'll just simply, first of all, see what you've used for the week, and we'll click on today, and it's going to bring that over. So now we'll just assign our hours to it. So I'll go ahead and click in. We'll say we use that for 8 hours today, hit done, and it's listed. So we got today, it's got this week. And then another awesome feature as well is obviously meter readings are a very important part, you know, knowing where your equipment is for maintenance and things like that. It's going to show you where that piece of equipment began for the day, and then you can have your guys type in those meter readings as well. So we'll type in, let's say 12, let's erase that. We'll do 12,700, hit done. We got our meter reading. Once again, you can type in notes. Maybe because that dozer broke down earlier, it'll say dozer broke down, delayed us 2 hours. And you're done, and you'll hit save. So now you can see we've got our equipment listed and the cost code that we worked on for the days, for the week, and also our meter reading with a note. So we'll just simply hit the back arrow. So now we've finished the employees and the equipment. We'll hit the back arrow again. Now we're done. So we've already done the diary, the time card, all within just a few minutes. So now, hopefully we got some work done. So we'll hit units placed. So as you can see, it brought in that cost code that I worked on. I brought in, assigned some hours to our employees. If I need to add more cost codes, I'll just simply go ahead and hit that. And maybe we did some clearing and grubbing as well. So I'll hit the back arrow. And now we brought that in. So I use this example to show you a few things. So actually, the stoplight mentality that we used, we have our red here, and what that's signifying is we have our planned quantity that we brought in for our project, and we have our today's quantity. So what did we actually get done? And then we have our daily goal that was entered in there as well. So we'll go ahead and let's just click into this blue field, and let's say we got our daily goal done that we're supposed to. So that's 185. We'll hit done. So the reason that this is red is because it's exceeded that planned quantity. So as you can see, this is our planned quantity here at the top, but we've well exceeded that, so it's going to turn red. So with those colors, anytime it's 0 to 90%, it'll be green, saying you're on track. Anytime it's 90 to 99%, it will show it's yellow, saying you're nearing completion, as you can see down here. And anytime it's gone over 100%, it'll be red. So your guys, not only are you going to get the tracking in the office, but in the field, you'll be able to have your foreman see that real-time tracking. Have we exceeded what the planned quantity is? And not only is it going to show them that number, but it's also color-coded, so it's a super easy thing for them to be able to see and notice that that they've gone over the planned quantity. So looking at the clearing and grubbing, I'll just type in a figure here, and let's just say, let's say we'll add in 100 there. And now we've exceeded, and you'll see that turn to red as well. So the last thing I'll show on this page is the change orders. So you can hit this change order button. So we do get kind of mixed responses from our different clients or people that are looking into the program. And basically, this is going to allow your guys out in the field to be able to enter a cost code. So, or I'm sorry, a change order. Now, this is not going to automatically approve that change order, but what it's going to allow is your guys out in the field to be able to enter in, hey, maybe there's a change order we need to submit to the office and say we need more pipe or, you know, more of whatever. And it's going to allow them to be able to type that in here, send it to the office, and then in the office, once again, you have that power to be able to approve, reject it, or maybe just change the cost code. Or the change order, or I'm sorry, cost code number on that change order. So in this case, I'll just go ahead and hit cancel, but that's where you would type that in. You can take a picture of any kind of ticket, anything like that. So I'll go ahead and hit cancel, and then we'll back out of this. So now we've completed diary, time card, and unit place. The next section is our materials. So if I go through and do that, this is our planned quantity for that 18-inch concrete pipe. We've got that listed here. We can list anything that we've received today. Maybe we'll say we received 1,000 linear feet. We'll hit done. And let's say today we used maybe 200 linear feet, and we'll hit done. So once again, showing them what the planned quantity was for the material, what we've used to date, anything we may have received, what we used, and then also what the inventory is along with notes. So done with that section, and we'll hit the back arrow. So it brings us to our last part of the mobile side, which is our documents. If I click into this, so this is one of the most used sections. It's also one of the most customizable sections, where we're going to actually use our support team to really help customize this program to fit your needs, what kind of forms you use, maybe documents that are required by the state or maybe by a private job. And we'll actually teach you how to create your own custom form, so that way you don't even need to call us, you can do it on the fly and really utilize this to get rid of that paper out in the field, have your guys drive back by the office, turn it in, have to double entry it, just have them knock it out here and transmit it straight to the office so that you can see it. So I'm going to click on this add forms, and the one I'm going to show an example of is our equipment repair needed form. So I'll check that, and then we'll just hit the back arrow to bring that over, and now I'll click into it. So this is an example of what one looks like. So on this, you'll be able to basically add in drop downs or boxes you can just type in, meter readings, things like that. In this example, we'll say, okay, what's the equipment number of the piece of equipment that we're needing a repair on? And we'll just filter in here. Let's type in dozer. We'll click that. And then we'll also type in the repairs needed. Maybe we say broken hydraulic. We'll hit save. And then you'll be able to type in your meter reading. I think we said 12,700. We'll hit done. And then I'll kind of skip through some of these, but you can do stuff like urgency of repair. If I click that, we'll say, immediate. And then you can take a picture of it. So I'll take a picture of this again, but this was the piece of equipment that was broken. And it's this piece up here that got broken, and that's what delayed our work. So I'll hit use photo, and you can select the date, sign off on it, and then just hit save form. So now we've officially entered in that equipment repair needed form, but this is what you would be using for stuff like toolbox talks, safety chats, and like I said, really any form you want. And what's really awesome about this is we've seen this area be fully utilized by our clients. And there's actually a few clients that we have that are using, I think it's 60 plus forms in their system, their FMP mobile. So that way they can just completely eliminate that paper and have their guys fill it out. So there's really no limit to what you can add in or how much you can do. It's really up to you, what you want to do, but we're there to help create those forms for you. So now that we've completed this section, we'll go ahead and just check these boxes here. And now we're going to transmit this. So we'll hit the transmit date in the bottom. And this is a little section that we created. It's not mandatory, but we just did it as an option. So just a last little sign off for your foreman to sign their initials there before it goes ahead and transmits all your data. And while this is transmitting, which will only take a few seconds, something I like to note is we have a lot of clients that work in rural areas. So this isn't something you have to have Wi-Fi to be able to enter in your information. You can actually enter that without any Wi-Fi access at all. And then when your guys go back to a hotel or McDonald's with a Wi-Fi or whatever, they can connect to that. Then they can go ahead, check those boxes and transmit in just like we just did. So you don't have to worry about that, or hey, is this still going to work even if we're out in the middle of nowhere? So as you can see, it says data transferred and successful. So we will hit OK. And now we're completely done. This is just an optional page that I had pop up just to kind of show some real-time tracking. Did we meet man hours? What about cost for this week and yesterday, last week, this week, this month, all that. But I'll back out of there. So now we've completed the mobile side. So you can see how we just went through that even just a few minutes, entered in all that information, got rid of the paper, and now we can go to the office and check out what this looks like. So I'll go ahead and minimize this. And so we will go over to our office side. So when you open up FMP Office, I'll kind of preface it by saying the whole purpose of FMP Office is to gather all this information, to gather the reporting that you want, to make everything a lot more efficient, easier to use. And then it's also to give you Office users the power to be able to monitor hours, monitor your projects, get the reporting that you want, and really get every single thing and every bit of knowledge of what's going on in my projects, where are we within it. So that being said, I'll go ahead and we'll start with the system. So when you open it up, it'll start on this projects page. I'll come back to this a little bit later, but this is going to be a list of all of your active projects. So the one screen I'm going to start on is actually our reported screen. Since it's pretty fresh, we just did a transmission of the data there. As you can see, and I'll go ahead and hit refresh here. It'll take just a second. So we just, today's the 18th. This is the information that we just entered. So what we'll do is we got the diary column. We'll go ahead and click view. So as this loads up, what this is going to show us is a nice, clean, neat, easy to read format of all the data we just transmitted for the whole day. So this is a super awesome page to be able to just have already done. As you see, an Office user would just simply click into the program, hit on this, and they can email this out, they can print it, and that way you could give it to maybe the owner of the company or the owner of the project or whatever. If they say, hey, my PMs need to give me a daily form, what did we get done, and I need the information on it. This can't be made any easier. So this is going to be your company logo up here in the top corner. It's going to show the project. It's going to show the foreman that transmitted it, the date. It's got the nice little signature there. It's going to show us what the conditions were for the day. So if we were delayed, why were we delayed? Maybe it rained, 5 inches in one day. Okay, we got that documented there. Any delays to work? There's that note that we typed in. So dozer was broken, delayed us a couple hours. It's going to show your employee summary. So who worked on this job? It's got their work class, how many hours did they work? Got that nice note there for Alan. So he left early for the doctor for 2 hours. So you got that information there, very helpful. You have your equipment summary, what was used. Okay, we got that note that the dozer broke down. We have the meter reading for that dozer, the amount of hours that it was used. We have our quantities for the day. So cost codes, what did we work on? What was the quantity? And the man hours attributed to it, as well as the budgeted man hours. So we can see that today's total. And you have your material summary. So that material that we typed in, anything we may have received, what did we use, what's our inventory overall. So if I hit this side arrow, or the next button I should say, that's going to give us that picture that we took. So our dozer broke down, had a broken hydraulic. So we took a picture, we were able to draw on it, easily point out what was going on with it. And not only do you have that annotated note, but you also have a timestamp here showing you when you took that. So great for documentation purposes, whether it's just making it easier for you all to see stuff, or maybe there's a lawsuit that popped up. I know the old saying is a picture's worth 1,000 words. Maybe it's worth a few $1,000s, but this is where it could really, really save you. And that's a real life example where we've helped multiple clients. If there was an issue like a lawsuit that popped up, document, document, document. And this is where that will help. As you can see, these tabs up here at the top, if we wanted to focus in on our time card, we could click that tab, see who worked. We got the note listed there. What did they work on? How many hours? Same thing for our equipment listed there as well. We can look at it for our quantities. I'll blow this up so it's a little bit easier to see. But we can take a look at who worked. What did we work on? Got our cost codes there. Got our planned quantity, what the diary dates were, what our current quantity was, and we can see what's remaining as well. It's really helpful. We scroll down here and take a look at that. Hit that side arrow, see the second page there, and we can get all that information. Same thing for production. As y'all can see here, that 18-inch pipe that we worked on, what our planned quantity was, what our in place is, man-hour variance. So are we, under our goal? Are we above it? It's going to give you that information here, our variance percentage, and our completed percentage complete man hours. Same thing for material, kind of blow that up, let you all take a look at that as well. It's going to show that material that we worked on, previous, what's placed, and also our inventory. And then the final one is our image. So that image that we took a picture of. So the last report showed a timestamp. This is going to do that with a timestamp, the annotated note. But also another great feature is it's going to give you a geolocale. So where was this taken? We have seen this utilized in so many different ways. It's been awesome to see actually how our clients use this. You know, whether it's just you want to see where it was taken, or you want to say, hey, I want a picture of, you know, our crew or whatever, making sure that our guys are actually there on the project when they're supposed to be. You can see exactly where they took that picture. Make sure they're not at home getting a buddy to enter in their data, but they're actually there doing it. So I'll go ahead and hit the X there. We'll exit out of this, and we'll go back to that project screen where the program opens up. So we set this up in a few ways, and I'll kind of point out some important things, but the whole gist of this screen is give you a quick glance of things that are action items you need to take care of. And secondly, where are we within our project? So we have this kind of tailored. You all can kind of use different options that we have here to split it up, divide it however you want to see it. In this case, we have it split up by our foreman. So we've got all of our active projects. These are headed by each of our foremen. What are they working on? And then looking at those action items. So anytime you see a red dot, that means there's something you need to take action on, or we've exceeded 100% of a planned quantity. So as you can see, a really quick glance, not having to read through all this tedious data and information and numbers, but where are my red dots? What do I need to take care of? So if I click on this contact here, there's a red dot. So I don't even have a contact entered for this project. This is where I'll just double click into it. I'll say, you know what, I need to go ahead. Let me add that under Jackson here. We'll just double click it actually, and we'll just hit OK. And you'll see that's been taken care of. So now that project's going to be listed under Jackson there. The other action item is my foreman count. I don't even have any foremen on this. Same thing, double click on it. Let's say I'll add it to James is my foreman there. We'll hit OK. As you can see, that red dot's gone. And then lastly, I want to show the last action item is we have our change order count. So once again, that change order we went over. If you're going to give your guys the ability to send stuff in so you can approve it or reject it, this is where you'd see, oh, somebody on Sidco and Powell sent in a change order. So I'll just double click, and actually it looks like 2 of them. So it looks like new work and additional work. So I'll just double click into that. I'll see, okay, what were they asking a change order for? So I've got the foreman that submitted it. What do they need? The cost code number, what quantity, got a signature here. And this is where, like I said, the theme of Office is giving you the power. You can accept the change order as is, accept the change order but assign it a new cost code, or you can just reject it altogether. But as you can see, you can click through there and do whatever you want and then hit submit. But like I said, we're making it easy, putting it out there for you. These are action items you need to take care of, easy for you to see. Just go in, accept, reject, whatever you would like. So now that we finished these, now over on basically this column percent complete time and over, this is where you can glance through, see, okay, everything looks green. We're on pace with our project like we should. Then you notice, for instance, a red dot up here. So it looks like on the Brookview project, we've exceeded our percentage complete time. So that's an area where maybe you can dig in a little bit deeper on that, see some of those reports. That's the importance of those notes, also the delays. You know, why are we behind on this? Why have we not gone what our plan was for this area? So you can see the different little red dots where we've exceeded the planned quantities or what we planned for that project, as well as if you scroll over and you can see the rest of it here. So the next section we'll go to is our reports. So as you can see, we got reports. The first thing I'll note is we do have a few canned reports, as we call them, that are already existent, but we also have custom reports. So this is where working with Omen Systems, it's going to be a great experience being able to get the support that you need. On this custom report section, this is where also our support team will work with you. And if there's something you're gathering now, but you need that more efficient process, they'll actually work with you and create the custom report, drawing the data in that you're looking for. So don't feel like you're just stuck with what's basically already listed here. We're going to create those custom reports for whatever you guys would need, and our support team will work with you on that. So the first thing we'll take a look at is our time and material report. So there's multiple things that you can look at in this. The first being, I can select all projects if I just check that box. But in this case, I want to look at Sidco and Powell. We'll stay with that project we've been looking at or working on. So I'll double click on that. And then we'll select, as you can see, you can do today, yesterday, this week, really expand it out as far as you want. I'm going to go ahead and let's just say this month. Now I'll click report options. There's a few options, once again, tailoring it, whatever you want to look at. We can do all cost codes, work classes, equipment, things like that. And I'll let you kind of look down the list here without naming it. And then you can also look up your markups as well. So I'll go ahead and hit cancel here. We won't change anything there. And I'm just going to hit load report. So as you can see, this is our month here. We've got our project, that Sidco and PAL that we pulled in. We've got the cost codes. We've got our labor here, who worked, how many hours did they work, what are our totals. We got our percentage markup. Once again, got our labor for that day. And you're just going through scrolling and seeing the hours that they've worked, the labor, who worked on it, how many hours did they work. You got your markup listed there as well. And it'll be the same thing continuing to scroll down. So the next report I want to look at is our quantity report. So we just want to see our quantities here. So we'll stick with the Sidco and PAL, double click on that. We'll select all foremen and we'll stick with this month as well. Once again, you have your report options there. Seeing the different stuff, you can show detail if you want, active cost codes. You can group it by foreman, all kinds of different options here. I'll just go ahead and hit cancel, so we'll keep it the same. We'll just do load report. And I'll go ahead and expand this. But as you can see on this one, this is going to show our project quantities report. So what did we work on? Got them listed here. I kind of showed it with some details. We see our cost codes. We have our planned quantity for those cost codes. We have the dates that those diaries were submitted. If we're behind, remember our daily goal in mobile was 185 linear feet. We only got 170 done. Why? Maybe this is a report I need to go over with my my foreman. Well, we had a 1 hour rain delay, so we couldn't finish the daily goal of 180 feet. So you have that documented there if you need to present that to an owner or whatever. Why are we behind on this project? So I'll just kind of scroll across here, continue to scroll down, but you can see what we have remaining, what we have to date quantity, what's been reported so far, and you can list all those quantities here. The final one I want to go to is our production report. So let's see what we've done, and we'll stick with Sidco and PAL. We'll do all foremen, and then I'll stick with the common theme of this month, and we'll hit load report. Once again, having those report options. But this is where you'll be able to go down. You'll see all the transmissions. So I've got a few foremen that have submitted work here. You got Jackson that's worked on it, Will, and then you'll be able to see exactly what they worked on, those planned quantities, what's in place. You got the unit, how many man hours totals were here. And you'll be able to see stuff also like total man hour variance as well. So scrolling down, seeing all this information that we've been gathering for the field in a nice, clean, easy to use format. You can print these out, email them out, whatever you would like to do with it. So that'll lead us to our databases. So a few things on the databases. I'll start off with our employees. So when I was hitting those drop downs in FMP Mobile, if you can recall, it showed a list of employees. Well, this will be where we'll have all of your employees. It'll have their IDs, their name, their default work class. You can assign a certain work class to them there. That way it automatically pops up. What's also neat about this is not only is it a list of all of your employees, but you can see the last location where they were, and then also the last date that they submitted information. Kind of the same thing with equipment. It's going to list all of your equipment here, their IDs, description. It's going to show, is it in service? Maybe it's out of service, but you can change that information there. If I double click into it, that's an example right there where you can change anything like make, model, last location, where it was, any kind of special notes. You got your ownership cost, operational cost. You can list all of this information right in our program. And this is where you can do the in service or out of service, or maybe it's permanently out of service. So I'll hit cancel there. Also, you can see, kind of like the employees, last time it was submitted, last location. I know occasionally it does happen. Where was this piece of equipment? I haven't been able to find it for a month. That does occasionally happen, but you can see last location, where was it? And also the date on there as well. The final thing that'll show on our databases is the document section. So if you have a state required form, or I'm sorry, document, or maybe a private job has a document, this is where we'll be able to load those up. So if it's something like a PDF, as you can see, or an XLS, we'll be able to load that into FMP Mobile so you guys can see that. And then on the custom form section, you'll probably remember we did the equipment repair needed form. So this is it right here. I'm going to double click into this, and this is where you guys will be able to create your own custom form. So we'll train you on this, have plenty of time, as many training times as you need with our support team. And then you'll be able to go through and create your own custom forms. So not to get lost in any kind of hieroglyphics over here, I guess, different colors and logos and stuff like that. But as you go down and create your form, as you can see as I'm scrolling down, it'll start here blank, and then you'll go ahead and you'll add in anything you want, like a checkbox, maybe a total box, maybe a date or a drop down. And as you add those things in, it'll pop up. Then the next one will as you select it. And you can see we can go down as we're creating this form. Now the neat thing is you're going to see what it looks like on a phone too. So as you can see, this is an Android here. This is what our form here that we've created looks like on that. You can also see what it looks like on an Apple device. Being able to scroll down, show me exactly what this is going to look like. And then if you actually want to see it on your phone in your hand before you send it out to everybody, maybe making it active, I can uncheck this, hit set forms to testing, then I can send it exactly to who I want. So maybe it's myself and I want to say, okay, one last glance at this on my phone, make sure it lists everything, looks good before I send it out. So you would do that. And then you can just check set form to active and it'll be on there. But that's super easy how you guys can set up those forms and get it right on your phone like the one we looked at earlier. I'll hit cancel. So that'll take us to our accounting system. So the first thing that you'll be able to see is, I'll just pull up the master time card. So again, I know I keep going back to this theme, but Office is giving you the power in the office to be able to edit anything, take a look at anything, get the reporting that you want. So if I go, let's say let's look at the first week of December here. This is what that time card will look like. So this time cards we entered for our employees, this is what it'll look like on the office side. So you'll notice 3 digits here. The way we have it set up is we have regular time, the middle one is overtime, and the one on the far right is double time. So as those guys are entering their hours, maybe they entered in something wrong for the day, you can just double click into this, be able to change anything, maybe attribute some overtime hours, or say, hey, I know they didn't work that many hours, they worked more today, type that in. You'll be able to edit those in here. You'll be able to see who they are, what they worked on, their hours for the week. Plus, the cool thing is being able to scroll over here. Like I said, if there's a discrepancy in the hours here, like we said, we got our guys with 36 hours, Alan's at 34. He's coming back saying, why is my paycheck lower? Well, remember on that one day, you left 2 hours early for your doctor's appointment. So that's where we've got that notated. So really easy just to go back, be able to look at if somebody has that problem, and then be able to get an answer for them right there within a few seconds. Same thing kind of with our master equipment time. Now you'll notice the equipment that we used. Once again, we selected a certain week for it, but you'll be able to go down, select whatever week you want, look at it, and see all the information. And you'll notice we have 3 digits listed here as well. And what those are is that is our total work time. And then we've got our total standby time, and then the one on the far right is our total downtime. So if you guys do collect those, that type of information, we have that as an option listed in here, but that's where you'll be able to enter in that information, and then also have the note section listed as well in case, for instance, that dozer broke down. You'll have that listed in there as well. And then the final part on the accounting part of it is we work with well over 30 accounting systems. I'll hit the drop down box just to list a few of them. But what you'll do is our support team will work with you, help you get the accounting system that you're using. We'll put it in here, or select it rather, and then we'll be able to go through and select the date range that you want to transfer. Now I'll start by saying all this information that we're looking at only has to be done once, but you can go in and edit it whenever you would like. So you'll select the start date and end date that you want to export, and we'll select all projects, or you can select a certain project that you want to export. Same thing with your foreman. And then you'll go through and select exactly what data you want to export. So employee time cards, equipment time cards, maybe equipment meter hours. You'll be able to go through and select whatever you want to export. And then once you're finished with it, depending on what accounting system you have, we can either sync it directly with it, so you could put it straight into your accounting system, or we do kind of have it set up this way as a security, but you can go ahead and export this information, which will shoot it out to whatever form it is with your accounting system, whether it's an XLS or whatever form it is. Take one last look at it and then import it straight into your accounting system. So that way you'll have one last look at it before it's the gospel, so to speak, and to be able to put it in, run your payroll through it, and you're done. So that'll take us to our last tab, and this is our settings here. So the settings offers a lot of, this is kind of where you create whatever power you want in the office to be able to get what you want or limit access to certain groups, things like that. So that form that we looked at, the first thing we pulled up Office, this will be where you'll select the company logo that you want to use. So you'll put that in there. You can select the logo image. If I go to our security settings, so based off of your Office users that you have, there's a few different security groups. You can set people up as, management, project management, estimating, whatever you would like. Then you'll go through and you can limit their access or just restrict it. So simply just double clicking, if I double click this right here, you'll see it change that color. So now for my management group specifically on the accounting data export, now I'll let them have edit access. But this is where you would go through and be able to change those things. Like I said, limit access, restrict it, no access, whatever you would like. Now on our field and mobile settings, you'll notice a few tabs here. What I'll do is the first one I wanted to show, like the first part that we looked at on the FMP mobile side, and I said you guys can customize these tabs to whatever you would like. This is where you'll be able to do that. So type in our work reported, delays, whatever kind of label name you want to give it, and you'll give it the actual name it'll have on the tab. So work, delays, instruction. That's where you can change whatever you guys want to look at and be able to extract the data that you want to get, but you'll be able to change that here. Now on the required information, this is where you will be able to go through, select what kind of information you want to guarantee that your guys are going to type in and submit. So simply, if you check one of these boxes like require images, what this is saying is I'm going to require that my guys have to type in and submit an image before they can submit all their information all together. So if they don't do that image and don't basically put that in and then try to submit it, it won't submit any of their information. So if you're having trouble with getting your guys to submit, certain things, this is where you can put in that requirement. So that way they can go through and they have to put in what you want before they can submit all their work. And then the final part is our accounting settings that I'll show. And this is where you'll be able to do a few things actually. So people have the questions, well, hey, if my guy's transmitted information, how can he go back and change it if I say, hey, you need to go back and correct for instance, one of your crew members' hours? You'll just simply hit this delete or untransmit daily diary. And then that'll allow you to select exactly what you want to, first of all, what project you want to go to, which foreman it is, the diary date, and then you'll be able to select those and say untransmit. So that way they can go back in, make those changes, and then you can say, all right, send it back to me. You can also set up your first payroll day of the week right here. And then those calculations, so like I showed, there's regular time, overtime, and double time. This is where you'll be able to set up how you want it calculated. So we have over 40 hours per week, they'll get overtime, or over 8 hours per day, over 8 hours and over 40, and so on. So that really concludes everything with FMP Mobile and FMP Office. Kind of the last thing that I'll note before I think we have a few questions that have popped up here is we really put an emphasis on our support team and want you guys to know that we're not slapping a software on you, but we're actually wanting to make this work for you. So we want to be there for you anytime you have a question, need any help, training, whatever. So we actually listed, as you can see on this page here, we've got all of our information. We've got our 24/7 support. It's even listed here at the bottom. That way you can email us, you can call us, really any way you want to get a hold of us, you can do that. Also with a request help button. So we're going to be here for you guys along the way, making this partnership work, and we're going to make sure that we have a system that's going to work well for you, It's going to be super easy to use and get you all the reporting and tracking that you need. So at this point, I will, I've actually got Kelsey in here with me, so we'll go ahead and turn it over, and she's gonna, I think, go through our questions here, so we can go ahead and ask those. So
yeah.
I will
Hi
put it up to her.
guys, my name is Kelsey. Again, thank you for joining us today. We do have a couple of great questions that were sent in throughout the webinar. First of all, Chad, I think you're still on. I saw you were having a little bit of trouble viewing the FMP screen towards the beginning of the webinar. I'm not sure if that was a connection issue, but we are recording that, so I can send this to you after we're finished up here, just to make sure that you didn't miss anything. So just wanted to mention that. Other than that, our first question is, do I have to maintain the employee and equipment list in the system too? I already have this information in my accounting system.
That's a good question. I'm glad that was asked. So that, basically going off of that, the way that we do this is we can extract this from your accounting system. So, you all already have your employees and your equipment set up on that. So we'll get with our support team and they will help you get that information out. And so we can import that directly into FMP Office. That way you don't have to retype all that information or anything if it's already existent. We'll just get that from you, like I said, put it in that form and put it straight into FMP Office. So really good question there, but that is a very simple process.
Awesome. Next question. I already have access to my meter readings. Do I have to manually enter them in here too?
So yeah, that's another good question. So as you saw, there's a few ways that you can do that. You can either enter it in manually, and we actually have a partnership with VisionLink. So if you guys have that connected to your equipment, we have it to where it will automatically read that and type it in, or I'm sorry, input it into FMP. So that way, like I said, you can either manually enter it if you want to, or it'll automatically update if you have that VisionLink service that we partner with them on that CAD equipment.
Perfect. Next question. How do I get help after hours if one of my foremen needs help?
Good question. So that's kind of why I wanted to point out the service there. So we have that 24/7 support line. Like I said, you guys can email us, you can call us. And then also, like I said, here at the bottom, you can do even a live chat and get a hold of us. Really, we try to set it up any possible way that you can reach us. We'll have you reach out and get a hold of us any way that you want so we can help you out.
Awesome. How long will it take me to get up and running?
So it really is, I would say, dependent on how quickly you can get us the information. So kind of what that process looks like is we will send you some templates to get this information to get started, like equipment, employees, stuff like that. And if you guys have it, they're available. I mean, we've had people we've set up within a couple days. It's definitely not like an accounting system where it's going to take 2-3 months possibly, but it's really up to the client that we're working with. As quickly as they want to get started, so if they can get us that information, we can really stick on their schedule and get it done as quickly as they want.
Awesome. And I've just got one question left here. Can I report standby time?
Yeah, so that was actually what we covered a little earlier. So standby time, let's see, that was on our reports here, or I'm sorry, on our accounting, got our equipment time. And that's where we have our work time, and I'll scroll over here so we can see it too. But those 3 digits, so we got our total work, we got our standby time, which would answer that. And then you can also do your total downtime. So yes, we can track that.
Perfect. And that's all the questions we've got. Thanks, Will.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Kelsey. Well, thank you again, everybody, for your time today. I know we're kind of getting to the end of the year here, and definitely appreciate your time. We know you're busy, but want to be of here and of service in any way that we can possibly help you all out. So let us know. I know Paul introduced himself earlier, and I am one of the other territory managers, but we've got a full team here. We're wanting to help you guys out. If you have any questions or want to talk maybe off the webinar a little bit later, and we can take a look at your process, see ways that we can help, please let us know. So we'll be here. Let us know if we can help, And once again, I appreciate your all's time today.